Well, hello everybody. It's Thursday morning here, and today is supposed to be a beautiful day, so I thought I would record outside a little greeting and a little update for y'all. I hope that you're doing well. It was really lovely to see so many of you through a screen on Easter morning. That was a great gift. And to those of you who participated in the Good Friday reading of 2 chapters in the Gospel of Mark, that was also a huge gift to be led through the gospel story by my church. What a gift that was. And to Maggie, thank you for all of the work that you put in editing that video and creating the worship video, a video of worship songs for Easter morning. That was a great gift as well. So, yes. Hey, a couple of things to make sure that you were aware of. One, I wanted to talk about some further opportunities with the places where we were able to give a significant amount of money a couple of weeks ago to help the Aurora Commons and to help the Greenwood Food Bank. I had the joy not only of delivering those checks, which was really fun, but also to talk to Elizabeth, the director of the Aurora Commons, and to Rob Reardon, pastor at the Salvation Army that's running the Greenwood Food Bank. And both of them were incredibly grateful, wanted to pass along their thanks to our church, our community, for our generous support. So thank you on behalf of them. But also there were some other ways in which they mentioned potentially people could help out. The Aurora Commons in particular, they're trying to maintain their volunteer staff. It's primarily to just their staff. So they're not necessarily looking for folks to show up at this moment, but they are looking for men's clothing. And just clothing donations in general, I think, is something that they are always in need of. And they have ways of putting those clothes in quarantine and making sure that they're safe for the people that they're giving them to. But that's something that you could, other ways of giving beyond financial that they are in need of. The Salvation Army and the food bank, they do need volunteers, and they're aware that it's a bit of a strange ask these days, but they need folks who are under 65, who are healthy, who can come and show up for an hour or a couple hours to help distribute food at their food bank. Their food bank's open a couple of days a week. They're also preparing meals in their kitchen for a few shelters up in Everett, so they've got a lot going on at their space and can use help. Related to that, I've been pondering this stimulus check that many, if not all of us, will be receiving from the government sometime. I know some people's have come in. Ours hasn't come in yet. And I wanted to extend the invitation for you to think and pray about what God might have you do with that. Some of you need that to pay bills, and you should use it for that. You need to cover your expenses. Don't go into debt. This is a lean time financially for many folks. Use that money for that. Be wise with that. For others of you, your job is perhaps more secure, even in the midst of all this tumultuous disruption. What might God be inviting you to do creatively, generously, with this money that you had not planned on coming into your budget, but this is extra? How can you be creatively generous, prayerfully generous with this money that's coming in? Certainly, the Aurora Commons, Salvation Army Food Bank, and Greenwood are two local ministry partners that can always use more support. Summer and I are big fans and supporters of the Union Gospel Mission downtown Seattle. Certainly the support of your local church is another area where you might consider. But maybe you know somebody who has lost work that could use, could use some significant grocery money for a month. Could use help with their rent, whatever that is. The point of all of this is to take a moment when that check comes into your account or into your mail, and to pray and to ask God what might be a gospel-oriented way to think about that money and to use that money for the flourishing of our neighbors. We'll leave it at that. We're going to continue on Sundays to do what we've been doing, which is to provide you the tools that we hope you can use to engage with Scripture, to engage in the worship of God in your homes. So be looking for those emails. We'll continue to use Zoom primarily for connection, primarily for ways to check in, but also we want to move beyond simply asking how we're doing, although that's a crucial question we need to be asking, to asking how are we engaging our faith in this season? How are we seeing God at work? Where are we longing to see God at work? What are we hearing from His scriptures? But we'll be using Zoom primarily for like small group interactions on Sunday mornings. And then I know the community groups are still meeting throughout the week. I know that Sarah Lewis Osink is hosting a craft night over Zoom. There are a number of ways that we're still connecting at a smaller group level. So be on the lookout for those emails guiding you in those, kind of what we're doing for Sunday mornings and then other ways to meet throughout the week. One final thing, I have been thinking about rereading Brother Lawrence's book, Practicing the Presence of God. And that feels like a very timely book, even though it was written several hundred years ago. Every day feels the same in some ways, and the mundaneness of life is perhaps highlighted in that we're not going anywhere. People have commented that there's no certain days of the week. There's just today, and every day is today. If you would like to read that book and to talk about that book with me and with others, send me an email, mmorlang@sanctuarycrc.org, and we'll figure out what best way to facilitate that kind of discussion. But I thought that would be a really great. It's a very short book. I don't know how quickly you can get it delivered by Amazon, but there's lots of other ways. I'm sure you can get it electronically very easily. And would love to spend some time talking and considering some of the wisdom from Brother Lawrence for us here in the time of coronavirus in 2020. So if that's of interest to you, email me. We'll figure out a way to connect. Bless you all. I do love you. I miss you. And we will be in touch soon. Peace.